Good evening, everyone. So welcome to the YouTube channel of Ranker Buzz. Today we are here with the third session of the legal maxims and the terms. So today we will discuss some other legal maxims and the terms which are important in perspective of your exams, LLB entrance exams, as well as other legal exams. So let's start the class. So the first legal maxim which we have here on the screen is that is actus reus. So actus reus actually means a guilty deed or guilty act. Here guilty deed means uh, any act or anything which has been done with a guilty mind, with a wrong intention. That is we call a guilty deed or the act. That is actus reus, means some act which is guilty in nature. Some intention was wrong and it was guilty in nature, so we call it actus reus, a guilty deed or act. Now coming to another legal maxim, that is ad hoc. Ad hoc is a word which you commonly hear here and there, like in schools, colleges, in the judiciary, that this judge has been appointed on the ad hoc basis. When we use this word ad hoc, what does this mean? So ad hoc means for a purpose, means if for example, if a judge has been appointed as a ad hoc, then we can say that this judge has been appointed for a purpose. That maybe certain cases are pending in a case, like for example 5K cases are pending in a case, and these cases must be resolved within a month or within a 2 months. So a special judge is likely to be appointed. So the judiciary can appoint an ad hoc judge, and this judge can, once all these things are done, these cases are solved, or these cases are done with, so the purpose is done. Once the purpose gets done, the duty of this ad hoc gets completed. So we say, when we use this ad hoc, we mean that for the purpose, for a particular purpose, when somebody is appointed for certain purpose, so we use this term. Now coming to bona fide. Bona fide is also a very commonly used term which we many a times use in our daily language, that either this document is a bona fide or not, or if you are studying in college or university or some school, then when you go for the admission, so they say that get a bona fide certificate, get a bona fide certificate from the school, college, or university, that you were the student of that university, you have a good character, you have this certificate you are providing is genuine. So we use the term bona fide for checking the genuinity. Means when we say that this particular thing is genuine, we say this is a bona fide document. Now coming to the another term, which is bylaw. We all have heard about law. Law basically, either it is made by the parliament, or the state legislature. Okay, anybody is making this law, that is we call law. But there is something called bylaw. So what is bylaw meaning? Like rules governing the internal running of an association. Means for the internal running of any organization, these bylaws are important. For example, if there is a NGO, or there is any association or a company, so when there is these kind of situations, or any other organization for that matter, so they are governed by the rules and the regulations and the laws of the government of India as well as the state governments. But at the same time, the organization regulates itself and its employees through the bylaws, by making certain laws, okay, and regulating the company or a NGO or any kind of association by these laws. So we call it bylaws. Okay. Now coming to the term that is de facto. De facto means in fact, means in practicality, that has certain effect. For example, in India, we have two heads, like we call it two heads, like one is de facto head of India and one is de jure head of India. Okay, so de facto head of India is the Prime Minister of India, and when we call it like de jure, that is president, because here the ultimate power of deciding anything belongs to the prime minister, because he is head of the head of the government as well as head of the cabinet, and his decision is is one of the final decisions. And but yes, definitely without the sign of president, it is not possible to pass any bill. you know any bill may not be passed if the president has not given the assent. But in the case of India, why we call it de jure? Because in India, president, in most of the time, whatever recommendation has been given by the prime minister or the cabinet, the president is required to sign. Anyhow, he has to sign. Yes, there are certain situations in which he can delay the things, but he cannot deny completely deny something which the government wants to some if government want to take some law, so he cannot deny this thing. So we call the prime minister here the de facto. So means in fact, because in practicality, who is taking the action here? So we call it de facto. Now coming to malaphide. Malaphide in the law, it has been many times been used, like this criminal has malaphide, कहते हैं malaphide intention है इसकी, ये हैज malaphide intention, मतलब ये जो काम कर रहा है, जो ये यहाँ पे काम कर रहा है, वो गलत इंटेंशन से कर रहा है, गलत फेथ के साथ कर रहा है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ ए इज वर्किंग इन अ कंपनी belong to B, and A is here to fraud, do some certain kind of fraud, तो हम कह सकते हैं that he has a malaphide intention. A is having malaphide intention because he has bad faith with respect to the work he is doing. ठीक है, तो we can use malaphide here. Now another term, that is prima facie. You all must have heard here and there that prima facie ऐसा लगता है when you watch certain crime serials and all these things. So you listen that prima facie, पुलिस कहती है वहां पे prima facie, हमें लगता है कि यहाँ पे जो मर्डर है ये इसने किया होगा, या इस स्थिति में या इस तरीके से हुआ होगा. So prima facie मतलब at first sight. When, for example, if a murder has taken place at a place, ठीक है, and B is murdered and A was found there, and there were certain bullets, used bullets, and there were blood stains, there are something else. So once the police reaches this place without any investigation, without doing any kind of investigation, whatever they find on the very first sight, usko hum keh dete hain prima facie. Okay, at the first sight. Then comes the next term, that is rex non potest pecere. Okay, this term means that the king can do no wrong. It is a principle of it is a principle being followed in the common law country, like it was followed in Britain previously, not actually now completely. You cannot say that now they are following this thing, but yes, definitely there were thinkers who said that king can do no wrong. Whatever king is doing is right. Whatever is said by the king, जो भी king कहेगा वही law बन जाएगा. That used to prevail centuries ago in the Britain. So this rex non potest pecere means the king can do no wrong, that a king cannot do any wrong, and king cannot be punished for any wrong, because that will not be considered to be wrong. Okay, now coming to this term, that is subjudice. This term you also have heard many a times, like you must have heard in the news channels when some reporter asking certain questions from certain politicians. Okay, certain politicians, and regarding certain decision or like something, तो फिर आपने देखा होगा that many a times these politicians say I will not answer this thing because this matter, जिस सब्जेक्ट पे आप सवाल पूछ रहे हैं, ये क्या है, सबजुडिस है. मतलब क्या है, अभी इसका फैसला नहीं आया है, ये कोर्ट में लंबित है, कोर्ट में पेंडिंग है. ठीक है, इट इज अंडर जुडिशियल consideration. When we use this term subjudice, means it is under judicial consideration, and that is why these people say that we do not want to comment जब तक कि जो कोर्ट है उसका फाइनल डिसीजन नहीं आ जाता, जब तक हम इस पे कोई कमेंट नहीं करेंगे. तो यू मस्ट हैव हर्ड दिस टर्म फ्रॉम न्यूज चैनल्स इन द न्यूज़पेपर्स. Now coming to the another term, which is tortum. Tortum means twisting something. Means twisting something. Something is, may look like A, but you are twisting it like, something else. ठीक है. So that is, और यहाँ पे जो tort है, tort is nothing but tort is a civil wrong. It is a subject which is being studied in the LLB, and whenever you are preparing for the, some LLB entrance exam, then definitely you have to read the tort, law of tort. That is called law of torts. Law of torts you need to study. So in law of tort क्या होता है, mainly we used to study the civil wrongs. ठीक है, जो सिविल नेचर में होते हैं, इट इज दीज आर नॉट क्रिमिनल इन नेचर, दे आर, इनका रेजोल्यूशन या फिर इनका इनका जो सोल्यूशन है वो क्या है, कंपनसेशन. कंपनसेशन, अगर कोई हार्म हुआ है, कोई सिविल रॉन्ग कमिट हुआ है, तो यू विल बी कंपनसेटेड एंड दैट विल बी डन. ठीक है, वो चीज वहां पे खत्म हो जाएगी. सो दीज वर सर्टेन इंपॉर्टेंट लीगल मैक्सिम्स इन द टर्म्स व्हिच वी वांटेड टू डिस्कस विद यू ऑल. And there are many other, but these were the important ones which is important with respect to your exam. So kindly see these videos for again and again, so that you can get a better idea. And we will also come up with another videos on different subjects and different topics. So keep watching, and keep subscribing our channel so that you can get more updates. So thank you so much everyone.